All right, happy Monday, everyone. Let's get straight into it. So this was the setup that I had earlier on BTC for a local TCT within TCT. Had this chart up yesterday. Did all the pre-planning. Had demand here, which obviously since then has been ran through. In a live market situation, where was I? I went to bed around here. This was the market structure low. Oh, probably just a bit after actually. Yeah, it was around here when I did go to bed. So what we did, this was the third tap, swept extreme liquidity really nicely, creating that third tap right here. What I did not like about this is, let me fix this. What I didn't like about this is that we barely broke structure here. Very, just a very poor structure break. And then we respected demand, so that shows signs of strength. Definitely does not show signs of weakness because we really struggled to break this. It was 5-minute structure. Was it 10-minute? No. Sweet. Yeah, so it was 5-minute structure here. We got 2 consecutive bearish, and then we got more than 2 consecutive bullish candles. So this was the market structure low, but we really struggled to break this, as you can see. Like we just closed below, then weaked, and then moved up, then it went down, then respected this demand, which I will now delete. Yeah, then we respected this demand, and then we continue to respect this demand as well. So price was not showing any sort of reason to come lower, and you know, hence this. I did not enter, and then lo and behold, when I woke up this morning, this is what price since then did. So had I have entered, it would have obviously been stopped out, and now it's come back through, ran through this demand, and so far has front ran this. And now I was taking this in confluence with USDT dominance. So let's see what this has done. USDT dominance has since then moved very similar. Very similar. Here it is. Like theoretically speaking, if I pull this range, it is still valid. It is still a valid, it's just become a model 1. So various things are still at play here, I would say. We still have a decent return to zone. Obviously structure is broken here, 30-minute structure. And then we have also respected this, so far, this demand really nicely. So for now, the USDT dominance is showing signs of strength. For now. So given we expect this to go higher, you can expect Bitcoin to go lower, but I just don't like what this range looks like now. One day, 8 hours, the distance between tap 1 and 2. And then between tap 2 and 3, we have, you know what? Valid. I'm going to delete all these. So this has now just become model 1, so far, theoretically speaking. We've also ran through demand, which is what you want to see. And we have respected supply here really nicely as well. So this just looks like it has copied USDT dominances and has become a model. Well, it started off as a model 2 and now has become a model 1. From a local standpoint, I wouldn't be taking this until we break structure back down. So given the way this chart looks, I probably wouldn't be taking a short here, because for price to come back and break structure, theoretically speaking, it's already broken structure here. So what was this, 30? Just, I think. Technically that's not 30-minute structure, it's broken 15. So this is your break of a structure. There's just no local structure to break on this climb up. If we had structure here, this would have been a good entry, you know. Terrible drawing. If we did something like this, and then clear break, that's your structure, then that would be actually a really good entry, and I wouldn't have to wait for another local model to form. And I would be very happy entering off there, but we don't have this, and we have a very, very steep climb up. Is that demand? No, not quite. Not valid demand. But yeah, as much as we have respected supply up here, I just don't like the way we've come up so aggressively, which is kind of, at least for now, preventing me from taking any shorts. Even though we are respecting this supply, but yeah, I'm just not a fan of it at the moment. And then also, yeah, the return to zone isn't the best. Yeah, I'm not too much of a fan at the moment. I would like to see a nicer slow pull back up into, you know, it would have been ideal, but for now, no entry. I'm just going to be patient and wait and see what else happens here, how price moves. So yeah, we will be patient there. Just monitoring USDT again. Like, this does look primed to go up. This looks really good to go up, you know. But the other pair I was monitoring yesterday, which was along the lines of Bitcoin, was ETH. So let's see what this has done. Very similar. You can see here, guys, there is a very direct correlation, at least for this pattern, between Bitcoin and ETH, and then you got the inverse between ETH and USDT dominance, as well as Bitcoin and USDT dominance. So we can remove all this. This was obviously my predicted leverage and position size that I thought I was going to enter with. It's very, very similar. It's so similar. Like, even here you have structural supply, which has been respected really, really nicely. And no clean, like a weak structure, a weak break here from what I believe. That's not valid 30-minute because we don't have two consecutive bearish candles. We have a bearish, bullish, bearish. Maybe valid on the 15. That is valid on the 15, but it's once again, very, very weak break of structure there. which I do not like. Very weak. I'll chart it, but it's very weak. Weak break of structure. Yeah, same thing from here, from a local standpoint. What I will do is put an alert to see if we come back up above this. And I will do the same with the other pairs. Alert is still set here. Yeah, so no real clean entry at the moment. But yeah, nevertheless, we'll see if anything else presents itself. Pepe so far still looks on track. Still looks on track for our pre-planning. Pretty happy with how this is moving. Just continue to be patient there. Tau obviously had this range which we talked about yesterday. That can go. Let's clean this up a little bit. Should I have white charts, guys? Do you reckon? No, we'll play with some white charts for a bit. It's just softer on the eyes, the grey, you know what I mean? Alright, so we have reached this supply POI. Is that within our deviation limit? Yes, it is. That's more than fine. And I believe we even have supply up here. Yeah, this is a valid structural supply and also supply on the 30-minute, was it? 45? Yeah. 45-minute OBIF. That is our target here. Are they? definitely not the London high. That's for sure. Did I just click on that incorrectly twice? Right, we got some nice equal highs here. Really good for a liquidity target there. Alerts are set. Perfect. This is my pre-planning on Tau. Leave that as is. There's also no real demand below. That's fine. I'm happy with that. Very, very happy with that. Sweet. Awesome. XMR. This has now been invalidated. This is part of a well, this confirmed model 1 is now looking less and less probable. What's going on here? Yeah, so this looks, it's just looking, this model is just looking less and less likely to remain valid. Give that a bit more time. Okay, I'm just going to leave XMR as is at the moment. If anything, we formed some form of a local accumulation here. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Let's go to Litecoin. Yeah, we're kind of just ranging here. Not a fan of this price action at the moment. Leave that as is. Fartcoin as well. And already in a confirmed model once again. So no opportunity did present itself for a re-entry, unless maybe they're locally speaking. Maybe we got something here locally, sort of. Yeah, we spoke about it yesterday. Actually, we had this little local entry if you took that, which might look to get invalidated if you've got your stops above here at the moment. Very close to invalidation there, or being stopped out. Render. Another already confirmed model. I think there is supply here, if I'm not mistaken, but we're closing quite deep in it. I have a feeling there'll definitely be some structural supply in here. On the 10-minute, that is fine. But we have closed quite deep in it, as you can see. Yeah, not much for render at the moment. Let's move on to quant. We'll pass quant. And you can see, and I did speak about this the other day, a very clean looking accumulation model, but it is counter context, and given it has been counter context, you can see that we haven't seen, you know, had this been, would this be neutral or pro context, you would start seeing that you know, that flush up pretty soon. But because it's so counter context, we're just doing this, and we're doing it so close to our invalidation right here. So that's exactly why I did not enter this. Because it's just, as much as it is a clean model, it's very counter context. So I would not be taking this, which is why I didn't take it. And regardless, it doesn't mean it still can't flush up, but with models like this, for example, this model took 5 days, 21 hours to form, right? Since let's say your break of structure would have been around there, it does look like it would have been somewhere in there. You have now been ranging almost 5 days as well. So after your break of structure, if you've been ranging for as long as it's taken the model to form, you can consider this invalid. Like, if a model's 10 days, it should not take 10 days for you to, once the break of structure happens, it shouldn't take 10 days for the model to complete itself. It's normally like half the time, even less sometimes. So the fact that you're already approaching 5 days, which is as long as it took, which is the same amount of time that it took this model to form, you can pretty much deem this invalid. So I would not be looking to enter here. Doge, we'll get there. We'll get there. Pump fun. Nothing worth explaining there. XLM looks like we are forming some form of accumulation model, but once again, that is counter context. So I will not be interested. Nothing for cake. Hype. If we get some form of local distribution here, it would be nice, but I would not necessarily count on it. So we'll see what hype does there. Aave, just rangy price action. Nothing worth mentioning there. XRP, not really liking. We are forming some form of distribution, but it's not clean. Very, very ugly. So I will not give it my time. Could have some form of range forming here. Hasn't yet formed, so once it touches EQ, then it can be deemed a range, but for now it is not a range. Sui, nothing really happening here either. Let's see why the alerts were going off. Doge, okay. Very, very interesting. Keep an eye out on Doge, we'll move that up the leaderboard. Sweet. Let's have a look at WIF. Nothing happening here. Sol swept this. Broke structure. Took out all the extreme liquidity. Chance to take profit was there. Why did I not enter this? Must have been like, yeah. This would have given me an entry at like, oh, you know what? It would have given me an entry this morning, actually. Well, this is obviously now invalid. Yeah, gonna leave Sol as is. Asta. Asta's still looking pretty good, to be fair. We have obviously mitigated this supply. So technically speaking, we have created our... technically speaking, this is a confirmed model. It's just very, very... it's just not clean. There's like no return to zone whatsoever. That's your extreme supply mitigation. So yeah, this is your confirmed model, but it's just very, very not clean. There is also a fairly clean looking supply chain here. Which we can monitor. I'm actually going to leave Asta here. I won't be moving it up just because the price action on it has just sucked. So I don't think it deserves to be moved up the leaderboard. If we can get something local in here, we're obviously going to look for a little scalp, but like that, you tap 1, tap 2, tap 3. I will definitely be looking for something like that. Tap 1, Wyckoff low, tap 2, and tap 3. Taking in some form of liquidity, you know. Not the best drawing, but you get the gist. That would be the pre-planning for Asta. All right. Let's have a look at Link. I'm not liking this, but look, if we get something like that, you might pay attention to it. Virtual is actually looking pretty clean at the moment. Virtual is actually looking very clean. Nice. And we also have demand here, which will get mitigated pretty soon. Do we have something on the 10 minute? Yeah, we do. Okay, I like this. No real supply in there. But yeah, this is clean and it's also pro context. Yes, you have heavy supply above, but if the, you know, if conditions permit us, then we can take this. So move virtual to the top. Put that under tower. We looked at Link. Ton is also looking pretty good. Right here. Really, really nice. I'll move that to the top as well. Bitcoin Cash, nothing. Sweet. Let's look at Trump. Nothing here. Brett, nothing here. Oh, Brett's actually slowly moving up to this potential distribution as well. So Brett is looking good. What I do want to check is my AUD CAD short. What would have happened? Okay, so price still in. Yeah, obviously I took profits here. It's in probably my last or second last Forex market update. But yeah, I would have still been in the trade at the moment. Easy, yeah, that is it for today, guys. Covered it all. So yeah, keep an eye out on, in terms of crypto, keep an eye out on these pairs. So including Bitcoin. What's that been? Yeah. This has now been invalidated, so and what this means now, while we're on here, is that I'll be using this as my new range. I'm gonna just clean this up. So this is now our new range, which we are looking at right here. Perfect. And then ETH would probably be the same. Ooh. Technically speaking, ETH would not be the same. I'm just going to delete everything from here because it's just not structure that we're looking at anymore. It's, yeah, this whole range has now become invalid and there's nothing else I can really pull from. USDT dominance has plummeted, so this is now officially invalid as well. Perfect. There you go, guys. Some quick last minute changes, but yeah, so to summarize, have we just... All right, we've mitigated supply. Yes, I know, I know. The only thing I don't like is that there is demand below. It's not really the... If there is an OBIF below, then yeah. We have a 15. So yeah, plenty of demand below, which is not something that I do like. Here for Pepe. Yeah, let's just monitor this and see what happens. We do have our alerts. There's no break of structure in here at all either, because there's no valid market structure, so I wouldn't be taking anything in here. that is your market structure low right there, which is probably valid on the 3 minute or on the 5 minute. It's valid on the 3 minute, so that's your 3 minute market structure low. But it's obviously right in demand, so just be patient with this. And we've got heavy demand here as well. Yeah, like a lot of demand. So yeah, let's just be patient here. And then yeah, keep an eye out on Tau. Keep an eye out on Virtual. Keep an eye out on Ton. Keep an eye out on Doge. So yeah, a few interesting plays here. So just be patient, have your alerts set, and we will see what happens from here. That's it for today. Thank you all for listening, viewing, watching. Enjoy Monday. There'll be a Forex update later on today. So yeah, enjoy Monday, guys. Let's win the day. Catch you all later. Peace.